Absolutely, follow along.
Go
You look like an Oilers fan.
Follow along with us. Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Cory, and yes, I am at the 2024 Los Angeles Auto Show, where I am going to take you on a tour of all the new cars here, all the vehicle premieres here, everything that is worthy of checking out. And no, I can't take you outside the show. There is a lot to see here, all of that and more. Stay tuned. We are starting off in the South Hall, and as I am currently situated, I'm actually at the front doors to the South Hall. There's some more stuff out in the lobby that we will check out as we head to the West Hall. I do believe that's right. But there are two halls here, lots to see, including what's out in the lobby. But we're going to start first with Hyundai. I think Hyundai has perhaps invested the most in this show out of any automaker. They had the biggest press conference, not necessarily in terms of length, but in terms of it was the first and perhaps the most widely anticipated because they took the wraps off of this vehicle right here. It was actually at this show 3 years ago, 2021, that Hyundai showed us about this same color, the 7 concept, which looks a lot like this Hyundai Ioniq 9 that is ready for production. This is a pre-production model, but I have a full video taking you on a tour of this one and taking you on a ride over here. You can actually ride along in them. I was in that white calligraphy back there, but definitely have that video out for you to check out. Lots to see, lots to like in this vehicle. It is the largest eGMP platform vehicle from Hyundai that you can get. Fully electric battery underneath the vehicle. There is some storage under that front trunk. Lots of room on the inside for people and gear. Definitely go check that out. They actually have another one over here. I'm pretty sure that green one was a limited, which perhaps is the more mainstream trim that most people are going to get, the SEL or the limited. This is the top calligraphy, and you can see the turbine style wheels, the up level Michelin Primacy Tour tires on this one, but lots to see, lots to like here in this one. I actually have a tour of the Korean market version from the world debut that they held before the LA Auto Show that has rearview camera mirrors and stuff like that in it. But definitely go check out. I have 2 videos on the channel highlighting the Ioniq 9 on the channel here in LA. And then we have the hottest, most fun hot hatch with a giant battery underneath, the Ioniq 5N. And I got to spend just a little bit of time in one of these in Wisconsin. So much fun, over 600 horsepower, simulated gears, simulated shifting, simulated engine noises, whole lot of fun. I have talked to Hyundai. I am working my way towards getting one of these for a full week worth of testing, but that is not currently on the schedule, so absolutely stay tuned for that. Can't wait to get one of those. Then we've got Palisade right here. This is due for an update. Perhaps in New York we'll see an updated Palisade, but the new Santa Fe, we've driven these, we've loved them, we like them. This one's the calligraphy, this one's the gas calligraphy, I can tell you by those 21-inch wheels. This white one is the hybrid calligraphy. You can see a slightly different wheel design here. And then we've got the XRTs back there, full lineup of XRTs. In fact, let's go ahead and show you. We've got everything from the just announced Ioniq 5 XRT. We saw this in Los Olivos, California when we were driving the Tucson. We've got Santa Cruz XRT, Santa Fe XRT, and Palisade XRT. And you can see, yes, these are outfitted with some fun add-ons. But then we've got the updated 2025 Tucson in a couple of different variants here. Really like this blue, very clean, very nice blue here on that limited. And then we get to the main stage here where you can see we have a US spec calligraphy of that Ioniq 9. It really is the talk of the show. while we're here. So we've got that Ioniq 9, but I do want to take you over here on stage and talk about the fuel cell electric. This is a hydrogen fuel cell EV. It is the Initium concept. It is a design concept. 27 years Hyundai has been committed to hydrogen fuel cells. That takes hydrogen and the exhaust is water vapor, but very interesting. You can see from the graphic there on the screen, this is an active lifestyle vehicle. But just like I mentioned 3 years ago, we saw the Ioniq 7 concept that now is in a pretty true to form Ioniq 9 reality. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this design concept study. This angle right here is perhaps my least favorite because it gives me Pontiac Aztek vibes. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. I have a full walk around of that one here on the channel already. But we're going to pull around here and look at the entire Hyundai Ioniq collection outside of that new 9 that was launched. So we've got the 6, we've got the 5, and then over here we've got Sonata Hybrid. So various different options for you in the Hyundai lineup. They're aiming for 30 EVs and 14 hybrids. They are absolutely, as they say, committed to meeting customers where the demand is. They've adapted, they've adjusted, they've changed. So proof positive of that is Tucson used to have all touch controls, no knobs, no dials in it, and they've updated that for 2025. So they are listening to their customers, adapting and changing. They were committed to an all-electric future, but now they're reinvesting in hybrid and combustion technology. So I really do appreciate what Hyundai is doing as a brand. They're making monumental strides. They are the new it brand for me. They are making all the right moves. They're betting big on things that pay off. And I just give huge kudos to Hyundai. They're firing on all cylinders. Everything is absolutely working for them right now. As we pull over here, you can see this is the ride-along program for Hyundai. They do have Ioniq 5Ns here, including that in specific blue color. But yes, this is where you sign and hop in behind the wheel of those Ioniq 9s. Hopefully one of them comes around the corner while we're standing here. Can't wait too long because I have so much more to show you. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get one. It's gonna be right as I turn around. Just watch, guys, just watch. But just on the other side of me, you may be hearing it, we've got Stellantis, and there we go. See, I was stalling. We've got a couple of them. They're going to do a rider swap, but Stellantis is back at car shows after a few show hiatus. They realized that their complete ban on auto shows in 2024 was not the smartest application. So Camp Jeep is here. Unfortunately, the Chicago Auto Show, which they did not participate in earlier this year, would have been a 20-year milestone anniversary for Camp Jeep, and they missed it because of business decisions. But you can ride along, see the off-road capability of the Jeep Wrangler right there. And then we can see a lot of other Jeep products here, including the Wagoneer S. I have a whole video on this one, the launch edition, which is actually that one right there from the State Fair of Texas. So really going into that one, I couldn't get in that one, but we'll see if I can find some time to hop in one of these two while I'm here. The launch edition comes like loaded out just under $73,000. I think these are priced right. They have decent range. I think they're going to do really well in the upscale marketplace and really capture the right consumer there, the luxury consumer. So I think the Wagoneer S naming perhaps is a slight miss for them. Then we have a truly new introduction. This was announced just before the show. This is the Willys 4xe, and I absolutely love the heritage callback to the original Willys. We just passed recently the 80th anniversary of D-Day, where they dropped the Willys in. And yes, so this is celebrating the history, the reputation of Jeep. You know, their big brand mantra is since 1941, and that there's only one Jeep. So really like that. You can see very, very cool wheel design here with that Willys icon there on the center cap. The paint color pays homage to the original. It really works for me. It looks really cool. And even the interior here, very, very nice interior. It is cloth. It doesn't go overboard. We've got that new screen up front. Lots to like here in this Willys. And then you can see the original right there. Stellantis had a major press conference while we're here, touching on all of their brands, the future of all of their brands. They touched on the entire Jeep lineup and the pricing structure. They're dropping the pricing, they're increasing the value across the line. That includes dropping the price on Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer to make those more affordable, and they start under $60,000. Then we've got the most powerful muscle car out there. Dodge claims that whenever they go EV, that they're actually giving us more power and performance than the ICE version that they replace it with. So very interesting there. They're really leaning in heavy to this Charger Daytona EV. There will be a gas version of this with an inline 6-cylinder. But really very much looking forward to getting behind the wheel of one of these. Now we'll come over here. We saw this at the State Fair of Texas. This is the chassis for the Ram Charger. So you can see here, we've got some big batteries right here. This is kind of like what Ford is doing, with the F-150 Lightning, in that they're taking their body-on-frame platform, cramming some batteries in there, but you will also notice there's a gas V6 there, there's a fuel tank, there's electric motors. What's going on here? Well, that V6 serves only to recharge these batteries. You can see there is no connection to the drive components. It serves as a gasoline generator to put power back into the batteries. So it is a range extending vehicle. Rev. And so we'll see exactly what that looks like here in the coming months, how that plays out. But you can see right here, there's your charge port, so you can treat it just like an EV, but you can take it on a road trip and treat it just like a gas car. It uses that 3.6 V6 that we see in the plug-in hybrid of the Grand Caravan. Fiat announced a Giorgio Armani edition of their 500, leaning into their inspired by series of vehicles, just leaning into that luxury connection with established brands. We're still looking to get behind the wheel of one of these. I want to spend some time in one and see what it's like. They don't make a lot of sense for me with all the room and space that we have in East Texas. These really are a city car. We don't have much need for them, but I still want to spend some time in one. Speaking of wanting to spend some time, I could get to know Giulia a little bit better. This is an Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, the performance variant of their sedan. Really like that. And then you can see we've got Tonale Veloce over here. We just got out of their Tributo Italiano, so videos of that on the channel. And then we've got the Stelvio over here. This one too is a Veloce. So a lot of Italian vehicles over here in this section of Stellantis, but I don't want to completely overlook Wagoneer. Wagoneer is now under the Jeep brand officially, so this is a Jeep Wagoneer officially. We all called it that anyway. It looks like a Jeep, performs like a Jeep. It is a Jeep. So we've got the Jeep Wagoneer officially right here. Back behind me, we've got the Dodge Durango Hellcat. We've got the Dodge Hornet RT, which shares a lot of components with that Alfa Romeo Tonale we just saw. And then we've got this electric concept from Chrysler. Chrysler's got some work to do. Their only vehicle on sale right now is the Pacifica minivan, and then they show us this Halcyon concept. They show us the airflow concept. We keep seeing concepts from them, but they're not bringing anything to reality except their minivan. So we'll see what the future holds for Chrysler as a brand. But yes, right now you're getting the Pacifica. This is the FAV version, family activity vehicle. It is a new trim, kind of taking up after that road tripper variant. You can see we've got, it's a sticker here on the side. Don't know if I love that, but fairly basic interior. You can see we've got a bench seat here in the back instead of captain's chairs. We've got seating for 3 in the back there. So 3, 6, 8 seats in this one, and the family activity vehicle variant of the only Chrysler product on sale right now, and the Pacifica. Yes, you can get a Voyager, but it's the same car. It's the same car. Over here, we've got the Ram RHO. Don't call it the TRX replacement. It is not, though it really kind of is. I say Ram is kind of taking Ford's approach, but backwards. Ford started with the Raptor and then gave us the V8 powered Raptor R. And Ram said, we could do one better. They gave us the TRX with the supercharged Hemi V8, and now they're giving us the turbocharged inline 6. I really like this engine. I really like this powertrain. I sampled it at the State Fair of Texas. I rode in it. I haven't gotten to drive it yet, but everything points to it being a very spectacular vehicle. The Ram Rebel name is celebrating 10 years, so the Rebel X is here for the 2025 model year. We get some special adornments on this one. The Hemi V8 is effectively dead now, so you get that twin turbo inline 6. You also get it here, and this tungsten trim, we actually sampled one pretty much just like this spec. Same paint, same options, same interior, bed cover and all. So we have a full 2 full drive impression videos, 3 actually, because I compare it to the all-electric Silverado EV on the channel. We've got lots of content on this pickup truck on the channel already, but you can see some of their heavy duty pickup trucks, their ProMaster line back there, and then you can see their all electric chassis here behind barriers. So we'll go ahead and take a peek at that, because unlike that Ram Rev chassis cab that we looked at earlier, this is fully battery electric. So bigger batteries in this, more batteries in this, no gas engine as a backup safety net, however you want to call it, for that one. So all electric on that chassis cab. Now, from Stellantis, we're going to go across the way here, and Cadillac has a booth. Last year, they had a booth out in the South Hall foyer. Here, they're actually in the South Hall, but ironically missing from the show here, sadly missing from the show, they don't have the new Vistic electric vehicle that they really just announced to the public. They've got a couple of Lyrics, which customers seem to really like. They've got the Escalade IQ. This is the all-electric Escalade. They've got the new, sorry, had to catch my breath. They've got the new CT5V Blackwing, the updated look. Really love that paint color. And they've got the traditional gas Escalade, but no Vistic here, which seems like a miss for me. This is a very popular consumer show. You would expect them to bring their newest vehicle to be seen here, but suspiciously absent. We're going to continue along the perimeter here of the show, so we will come back to what is to my right now, but behind the camera. But in front of the camera, on the other side, we have Buick and GMC. They're kind of co-branded here. We have the Envision right here from Buick. They're mid-size-ish. We've got the Acadia from GMC. We've got the Terrain. I have a full video on this Terrain, taking you on a tour of that. This is the somewhat base elevation model. We've got the Hummer EV back there, the new 2025 Yukon. updated exterior, updated interior with that new IP, and we'll talk more about that as we come around here. We've got the Canyon AT4, and we've got the Sierra EV. I have a full video on the Sierra EV. This is a Denali first edition, so lots of luxury in this. You can see very nice seats. Again, that tall IP dash screen in there. I have a full video on the Chevy variant of this, the Silverado EV, but it looks like they have taken down the midgate. I did do a full walkthrough as best I could. This vehicle was being swarmed earlier today, but I do have a tour of this specific Sierra EV, but I did not get to take the back window out and fold the full midgate down. But this is a 60-40 split midgate, but you can also take the back window out, fully expand the back cargo area on this. You can even drop the tailgate and put the load stop up here, and now you can have items up to 11 feet. And we will see the practical application of this when we get over to the Chevy booth here in a moment. Then we've got the traditional gas version of the Sierra. Unlike what Ford is doing with the Lightning, Chevy is not just putting their EV technology in this cab, this chassis. That is a truly unique truck over there in the Sierra EV. Then over here we've got Envista. I already talked about Hummer EV. We've got the truck and SUV over there, which is very nice. Next to GMC and Buick, we have Chevrolet. Here we've got the new 2025 Tahoe. This is the Z71. This one has the Duramax. We actually got to drive these in Fort Worth. Really happy that you can get the Duramax in the Z71. I have a whole build and price examination on this vehicle. The Duramax is a late availability option, so it is not currently on build and price the way that it will be configurable later when it goes into full production. So just wait, be patient. That will make more sense as the production ramps up in the first part of 2025 for that new Duramax. And then we've got Traverse, we've got Trailblazer, we've got Trax, we've got Colorado, we've got the new Equinox. So that GMC Terrain we saw earlier, this is its Chevy equivalent. This is the Equinox. This is the active trim. So top trim essentially for them. You can see we've got the contrasting white roof and this cactus green paint. Really cool look. I like the colors of the interior on this active. I like the mixed use of material. Really cool configuration there on that. We've got some gas Silverados. We've got the new Suburban. We've got Traverse. We've got Trax. Over there, we've got Corvette. We've got the ZR1. This thing is absolutely insane. I've got to take you by it. I can't ignore it while it's here. The most powerful Corvette ever. Truly insane. This is like as loaded out as you can get, but yes, over 1,000 horsepower with that 5.5 liter V8. This thing is absolutely nuts. That huge wing, all the aero. This is America's supercar through and through. Then you can see we've got other versions of the Corvette here, but I did want to show you this cutaway version that shows you just all the work that went into making that ZR1. I wish I could spend more time here, but we must press on. As we get over here, we've got Trax back there in red, Trailblazer here in blue. We've got an Equinox RS here in red. Just past it is the Equinox EV. And just like with the pickup truck EVs, this shares really nothing in common other than the name with the Equinox. It's the same size class, but it is not the same vehicle. There's gas Equinox, there's Equinox EV, very unique vehicle unto itself. You can see we've got a white RS back here as well. I really like this pearl white paint. We've got Blazer EV back here, Silverado EV back here. And remember when we were talking Sierra EV and the tailgate and midgate, here is your practical application of what that midgate can do for you. Full size sofa with 4 sections, 4 back cushions back here, all the way through the pickup truck. So very cool, very practical application there. Here we have Blazer EV SS. I want to get to sample that. There we have a Silverado EV LT. That is the more commoner trim versus the first edition that I've already covered extensively here on the channel. That same kind of matte gray, not matte, it's gloss, but a flat gray paint. And then we've got our off-road, our Z71, our ZR2 pickup trucks back here. Woo! Y'all tired yet? I'm getting there. There's a lot going on. We are continuing around the perimeter. There's a lot to see. I've missed a lot of that interior, but there's a lot to see around the perimeter here as we move over to Volkswagen. So you can see these guys are driving. What are they driving? Simulators, but they're actually moving some RC cars. We'll show you these RCs when we get to the lobby outside, because yes, they're actually controlling actual physical vehicles here at the show. But we press on because VW just announced the new Tiguan, however you want to pronounce it, their best-selling vehicle here in the States. It's giving me ID4 EV vibes, but very clean look, a little less odd duck. For me, it always felt a little odd duck, but really like this. I do like the illuminated badge back here in red. I like the taillights. Lots of cool elements here. I am hoping to get some time covering these while I'm here at the show, but you can see these are being swarmed while we're here at the show, as is the ID Buzz. We've seen it here before. We've seen it at other shows. I really like it. I'm begging VW to put me on the list. I want one of those for a full week because we are a family channel. And what says family more than a minivan and the iconic VW bus shape? Then we've got their ID4. You can see what that looks like when you look at the modular batteries underneath. So very unique display here. And from the looks of it, just like you could ride in the Ioniq 9, you can also ride in ID Buzz while you're here. So very fun addition to the show here, that you can ride along in ID Buzz. It looks like we've got some Nissan Arias here as well, which is a good segue over into the Nissan booth. I want to at least start over here with the biggest, coolest new Nissan of the bunch, the new Armada. This is a Pro 4X, which is a new trim for the Armada. This is based on the Global Patrol platform. Gone is the V8. We really loved the V8 in the last Armada we tested, but this has got that twin turbo V6. Very interested to see. We did just get out of the Infinity version of this. We liked it enough. It was a good experience, but these are going to sell really well. They're going to be the volume of the sales of this platform. Stateside, you can see here is the Platinum Reserve trim, the more luxury-oriented trim, but I want to try the Pro 4X. But yes, we did just get out of the Infiniti QX80, which for us in Texas sells quite well. I did not realize how many were on the roads in Texas until we got the new one, and I noticed all the older ones. Here we have the new Murano. 2025 Murano. You can see it borrows heavily from design cues from both the Aria in the back and the new Nissan Kicks up front, though I don't know that I love the front end. Previously, I didn't like the back or the front of the Murano. I've never been the Murano's biggest fan. I don't know about the front end of this one. You let me know down in the comments. I do like some of the elements. I like this, but it just feels like the grille is too low, that this is awkwardly placed. We do have Murano spelled out there. I don't know. It just feels odd to me. I don't know that I love it. I don't know that I hate it, but I do want to spend more time with it. And then as we get around to the back, you can see very much Aria vibes as we get back here to the back and that roof line. And then Infiniti vibes when it comes to the lighting elements back here on the back. So pulling from all different vehicles in the family of brands. As we look around this Murano, you can see the interior is very much Aria-esque up front, stealing a lot of design elements there. The brand's bestsellers, the Rogue. We've got the Rogue here. We've got Frontier, we've got Pathfinder, we've got the new Kicks back there in that beautiful blue color. We've got Sentra, we've got Rogue Rock Creek, which is new. I am still waiting on my chance to get behind the wheel of Rock Creek. Really do like this green Altima with gold wheels. Interesting that they're showing an Altima here because it's my understanding Altima is dead. We'll see how that pans out. Sentra is the lone sedan left, if that is truly the case. Then we've got my color here on the Kicks. You know I love color. It is a sneaker-inspired vehicle and design. Talk about glow up. This looks so much better than the model it replaces. Really looks fantastic. Then we've got the Leaf, the brand's first prominent and most prominent EV. I've talked a lot about Aria, but Leaf really paved the way for them. There's Aria over there. We've got Z, we've got GTR, we've got the new Murano. Lots to see at Nissan here, but the big new products are Murano and Armada. Back behind this wall here, you can see more EV experience. And then continuing around, we've got Toyota. Toyota has really revamped their entire lineup from Land Cruiser to Tacoma. Here we've got a SEMA concept with a removable roof here on Tacoma. Really cool look here. You can see we've got a back seat. It's called the TRD Surf. So it really calls to mind let's see if I can, the Hilux Surf. There we go, which is what the 4Runner of previous generations was called in overseas markets. So really cool, really like this. I wish they would bring it. And then you can see we've got removable roof here on this SEMA concept of the Land Cruiser, the Rocks. So very cool with the removable roof here on this one. But we've got Highlander, we've got RAV4, we've got Grand Highlander, we've got Toyotas, we've Tundras and Tacomas and all the usual suspects from Toyota, but their newest vehicle is staring right in front of me. It's the new 4Runner. We are still itching to get some time with 4Runner. You can see we've got a future 4Runner owner there on the inside, but this is a TRD Sport. This is the first time I've seen one that isn't a TRD Pro. It's in the wind chill pearl white paint. Very clean look. It's got that TRD hood on it with that faux hood scoop. We've got the wider wheel arches on this one, but they're body color. So I like that a lot. We'll peek inside. The interior is ripped almost straight from Tacoma, so no big surprise there. This is a hybrid model, so we've got batteries stored underneath us back here. You can see decent room back here, but very much interested to see what this turns out to be like when I can get in one. Really like the design element of moving this back window up. Really calls back to 4Runners of old. So it blends the style of Sequoia, which it has a lot of, with some heritage of the 4Runner nameplate. You can see we've got some more Sequoias. There we've got the mud bath painted TRD Pro version. And do they have, no, I don't see the Trail Hunter version anywhere around here. But I have a full video digging into this, the mud bath TRD Pro. Then you can see we've got the new Camry over here. We've got Corolla hatch, Corolla Cross, another Corolla hatch, Corolla sedan. The red crossover right there in front of us is their all-electric BZ4X. We've got Prius, we've got Crown, we've got Crown Signia, but we are back at the entrance with Hyundai. So we've made the perimeter. Now let's start filling in some of the gaps with what was here on the middle section of the auto show. Starting with Genesis. This is the premium brand from Hyundai. We've got GV60, we've got G80, we've got this matte blue G70. I love it. This is a spectacular car. Rumor has it that it isn't long for this world, but that is a shame. This is a spectacular car, a great driver's vehicle, very affordable while still being luxurious, a very good vehicle all the way around. Here we have the new 2026 electric GV70 that we were at the premiere of. You can see the updated wheels, cleaned up exterior looks to this one. You can see we now have a motorized charge port door here. We have the NACS charger there. I have a full video on this from the reveal event that Genesis put on here in LA before the show, as I do with this Sirius blue, I believe that's right, but the new blue color. You can see we've got the ultramarine and orange interior on this one. This is the gas variant. You can see it borrows from GV80 with the wheels, keeping that two-line design. It takes the GV80 coupe grille as well, but yeah, here's GV80 with the same style wheels. And then we'll look at the grille, that dual element grille. So just keeping with the brand style as it changes and evolves. And then we saw this when they launched it in New York earlier this year. This is the GV60 Magma concept. Magma is going to be the sub-brand, the performance brand of Genesis. So like AMG is for Mercedes, like M is for BMW, Magma will be for Genesis. We're yet to see what that truly translates to, but you can see bigger wheels, performance brakes, you can see better aero on this one, and you can bet your bottom dollar that this is going to borrow heavily from that Ioniq 5N. And as we get to the other haul, we can talk about the Kia EV6 GT, all of which ride on a similar version of the eGMB platform. Next to us here, another premium brand. We have Acura, which is a premium brand of Honda. You can see we've got some of their gas vehicles, and then we transition into their electric vehicles. Here you can see this is the Acura Performance EV concept, and it absolutely looks like a razor blade. It looks so spectacular as we come around and check out the full vehicle. A very impressive design study here. I really hope they start bringing stuff more like this to us, because currently what we are getting from their electric brand and partnership with General Motors is this ZDX, which we just tested the Honda version of this in the prologue. We really liked it. Still itching to get into the Acura version. I don't know that I love the three paint colors. We have black painted roof, gold painted body, and then silver painted lower section on this. So there's some elements that I don't exactly love, but there you have it. Here we have an HRC Honda Racing version of the Integra. So you can see we've got a wider stance, we've got aero, we've got all sorts of various different add-ons to this one. That big wing, we've got a rear seat delete with some scaffolding, as Jeremy Clarkson would say. We've got some HRC Honda Racing competition Recaro seats, and this pearlized yellow paint. I really liked the Integra a lot when we had it. I think this is a real slam dunk for them. But then we get the Honda variant, the Civic Type R. I really like that one as well. We are now into the Honda booth, and the most exciting vehicle here for me is this orange one. They also have a green one to my left that I will show you, but this is the new Passport Trail Sport. It is a 2026 model, and they knocked it out of the park with this vehicle. Lots of cool small touches that you don't see unless you're in person, like Passport embossed there around the front. It's embossed on the lift gate. very, very nice look, and I think it is going to sell very well here stateside. It is on a shared platform with the Pilot, but really doesn't resemble the Pilot at all on the outside. It further differentiates itself. It is not simply just the two-row Pilot anymore. It is its own thing. You get some cool design elements like this rear window here with this plastic up here. That again is one of the elements I really liked of 4Runner. That works really here on Passport. Very flat, very squared off back end. We've got some general grabber tires, which I've said are generally grabby. We'll see how those actually translate when we can get behind the wheel of it. But I did want to show you this cool addition. The way the rear storage works on this, you can put a spare tire back here in this lower section here and strap it in. Very cool. But I do have a full video taking you on a tour of the orange one, and I do peek into this green one a little bit as well. You can see we've got some HPD wheels, and I'll go ahead and spoil it. Black is not the only interior color on Trail Sport anymore, so I like that a lot. You can see over here we've got an interesting color. This sand color is becoming more and more popular, and we've got it here on the Civic. You can see we've got Prologue back there in Pacific Blue. We've got CRV right here, which is a very popular crossover for them. And then I've got one of these waiting for me when I get back home. This is the 2025 updated Honda Odyssey minivan. You can see seating galore on the inside. I actually drove a 24 version of this when I was at the show last year, and like I said, I have one of these waiting for me back at home again this year. You can see, yes, I had to come back by Corvette because Corvette, but this is going to bring us to the next section. I am right behind Genesis right now, so they had their whole like Genesis house set up right here. We're on the back side of that, and you can see Chevrolet to my left. But I bet you can already tell what brand is there in front of me just from that very iconic shape there in front of me. Yes, Tesla is participating in auto shows now. They actually have the whole fleet of vehicles outside for you to ride in, drive, I do believe. But yes, we've got Cybertruck here front and center. They participated in the Chicago Auto Show this year, and they're coming out in full force. Really showing off their vehicles here lately. And then we've got the Robotaxi. So this is designed to be a driverless car from the get-go. So you can see these butterfly-like doors, seating for two on the inside, no steering wheel, no pedals, no nothing. This is a driverless car through and through. It is a Robotaxi. You can see we've got the gold painted wheels, very interesting, clean look. Very aerodynamic, lots of cameras on this because again, that's how Tesla does driverless technology, constantly watching around the vehicle itself to stay out of trouble, so to speak. And yes, had to end my tour here in the South Hall with this very interesting showing from Tesla at the LA Auto Show. Now, let's smash cut to the lobby here of the South Hall. All right, gearheads, we are in the entryway to the South Hall at the LA Convention Center. And remember when we were at VW and we saw the people driving the simulators? Well, this is the track right here. Those are the cars, and you can absolutely drive them yourself. You can see we're waiting on these two drivers to start the race. You can see it is a process. They've got a radio system making sure the vehicles are set up and in place, but they're going to start the race here in just a few moments. So very cool that you can actually race cars competitively here at the LA Auto Show. Turning around, I told you when we started the video, Hyundai really invested big to this show, and I mean it. They are the first thing you see when you walk into the show if you come into what is essentially the main entrance here on the South Hall. They have the entire lineup from the new 25 Tucson, the new Kona, new Sonata, new Elantra, new Elantra N, new Ioniq 5N. They've got the whole lineup here for you to see all their trophies, all their awards, all right here in the entryway. And yes, lots to see even before you get into the show itself. So really cool that Hyundai invests big into car shows. I appreciate it. I love it for the industry. I love it for Hyundai. Like I said, they really are firing on all cylinders. But as we watch this RC race go on here, we will smash cut to the other hall and show you everything else going on here at the show. All right, before we get to the other hall, I do want to show you this. My voice may be incredibly muffled right now because they are playing some copyrighted music here in the Porsche booth in the entryway here, and I can't afford the rights. But yes, before we get into the other hall, Porsche does have its own setup here before you get to the other hall of the show. So lots to see here from Porsche. There is also the Monterey Motorsport Festival in that hall concourse there. So there is some additional stuff to see before you get to either one of the main halls, even still out in the entryway of both halls of the show. Also, just up the staircase from the West Hall entrance, Exodus Rigs with their RV trailers here. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. If you know anything about them, definitely check them out. But lots to see there. We've got some EV charging. We've got the iconic California Auto Show license plate sign there. And then we've got VinFast, a Vietnamese EV company that has a checkered history that is all too short here in America. You can see they're backed by the best EV warranties in the business. I don't know details on that, but I do know that they've had a rough enough start to their lifespan here in the States that they need good warranties. That's the extent of my knowledge with them. And then we have Spark, an AI company that is doing some big things. I will go ahead and show you here. They have an OBD2 scanner port that plugs into your car and speaks to your phone and uses AI for you to ask your vehicle, have a conversation with your vehicle about what is wrong with your vehicle. They were kind enough to supply me with a unit. I've got a lot coming from them, but yes, hopefully you see more from Spark here in the future, both on my channel and elsewhere, because I did have a good conversation with them this morning. I'm excited about the work that they're doing, very intrigued as we talk about how AI can help us in the modern world. There are some practical uses, and I think they're doing a great job. Basically, long story short, what it is yeah, you could buy a code scanner and read codes, but then what do those codes mean? That's where Spark comes in with their AI to help you converse with your vehicle to find out what is truly wrong. They also work in predictive analytics so that you can curb problems before they become problems. So now that we are in the show, much like we did in the South Hall, we will hang around the perimeter and then we will go to the interior. So Subaru, no big announcements here at the show this year. Was kind of hoping for a wilderness trim of the new Forester. Did not get that, but they still have their parks and wildlife booth here. So you have the great outdoors, indoors here at the LA Auto Show. Of course, Subaru love pets, so we've got some dogs here that you can pet, love on, and adopt. Love the Husky. Oh my goodness. We've got Outbacks, we've got Foresters, we've got Crosstreks. We even have a Legacy, even though now, yes, Legacy has officially been discontinued or is on the chopping block to be discontinued very soon. We've got Forester here on the big interactive screen display. It can be very disorienting. It is right now, so I'm gonna look away. We've got another Legacy here in front of us. They're still trying to sell some of those. We've got Impreza We've got BRZ, we've got WRX, we've got a lot of fun stuff. I'll go ahead and call this out. I know we're in the middle, but the 2025 finalists for World Car of the Year, all on display here. We've got Santa Fe, we've got Equinox EV, ID Buzz, Tacoma, Ranger, we've got Ram 1500, we've got Camry, we've got Accord, and we've got Kia K4, all on display here. Then proof that overlanding is a rising and growing trend. We've got a lot of overlanding rigs here, including the coolest Tacoma I think I've ever seen. I love that retro upgraded hood, front clip on that one. Toyota, that's what you should have done for the modern Tacoma. I'm just saying. But lots of overlanding rigs here. We've got an even cooler one off overlanding rig that I can't wait to show you as we work our way to the center display here, but lots to see in the overlanding space. You could go really far back. There's a lot of tents back there, a lot of really big rigs, even RoboCop, as I call it. They've got a Cybertruck overlander back here from OVR. A lot of really cool stuff. Over here we've got Ineos, we've got the Quartermaster pickup in a couple different variants. We had the opportunity to drive one of these at the Texas Auto Riders Texas Truck Rodeo. It took home awards for best off-road pickup at the show, so very excited for what Ineos is doing. And you can see they're leaning into their overlanding fan base there. Now we're getting into Ford. We've got the Mustang GTD, Mustang GT. We've got the updated 2025 Ford Maverick. You can see cleaned up front face on this, cleaned up interior, bigger screen. Then we've got the 2025 Ford Expedition. We've got the Limited, we've got the Trimmer. This is the first time we've seen Trimmer on anything that wasn't a pickup truck. So seeing it on an SUV for the first time, this is really to fight and combat AT4 from GMC and Z71 from Chevrolet. And then you can see we've got 24s on that Platinum. I misspoke, I called it a Limited, that's Platinum. Over there, we've got the Lightning, we've got the Mach-E, we've got the 2024, 2025 F-150, we've got Bronco Sport, we've got the Maverick Lobo over here, and some of our friends, Jana back there, you can go check her out. We've got the 2025 Ford Explorer, we've got the updated Escape, we've got the updated Bronco, including Bronco Heritage. I really like the stripe package, all the cool graphics here on this one. Really like that. I will say, I'm gonna just freeze here for a moment. If you know anything about Team Rubicon, they're disaster relief, they're veteran run, veteran owned, very cool. I've had friends volunteer with the company. Definitely look into Team Rubicon and all that they do. But the smaller hall over here, not as much to see, but we're going to work our way to the main booth you see when you walk in here, and the booth with the most new vehicles. Kia announced a lot of new product while we're here. They've updated the Sportage to match their sister company Hyundai with the updated Tucson. So we have an updated face on Sportage now with a very interesting grille and that star map lighting up front. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this updated Sportage? I don't know. I just don't know. But you can see we're accentuating the height, the verticalness here on this model. So you've got these vertical lights, kind of help widen the vehicle given that they're at the corners. But we get these vertical elements in the grille. Coming over here to this hybrid, you can see the elements in the grille are now horizontal. So we still have the vertical lamps, but horizontal grille elements. Interesting design choices. And then over here, we've got the X Pro version, which is kind of the off-roady version, very much like that first one we just saw. It too was an X line. This is an X Pro. And you can see, again, we get those vertical elements. I've heard Judge Dredd look, I personally see, because I wanted to be a marine biologist for the longest time, baleen from a baleen whale, blue whale. If you know anything, that's how they eat. Well, you can see we get these matte black 4-spoke wheels. I do like that Kia is bold in their wheel designs, their color choices, and their overall design. And so Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, they are really at the cutting edge of design. Really cool to see what they're doing. The EV6 did get updated. So we have a new front clip, new star map lighting on the front. This is the GT model. Actually, no, this isn't the GT model. They showed us the GT on the screen. Sorry, but this is the new look. You can see updated wheel designs. There is an updated interior, but very interesting mid-cycle refresh here for the first fully electric mainstream EV from Kia. Now, I did mention GT. Here we have the EV9 GT, and when EV9 first came out, I said, okay, this is an SUV. Are you going to be doing an X Pro, next line, any of that? Because they had already given us a GT line, and I really wanted to know, are they going to lean in and go give us a full-fledged GT, or are they going to go and give us an X Pro, X line? And well, here's your answer. We get those neon brake calipers. We get over 600 horsepower, under 5 seconds 0 to 60. Really cool, really awesome performance here from the EV9 GT. Yeah, there we go. That is here at the Kia booth. And then we've got other Kia products. We've got the Seltos. We've got the updated Sorento. I believe they updated that when we were here last year. And then I did promise you some fun overlanding vehicles. These are straight from SEMA. This is another Kia EV9, but this is their SEMA concept of it. An overlanding off-road rig. You can see the bigger wheels and tires. Lots of neon green on this, all the additional lights, the roof rack. But the one I'm very interested in is the Weekender concept. So this is taking their commercial vehicles and giving us a overlanding off-roading rig that I love. I would own one of these. As weird and as eccentric as it is, you've got the slide out door panel thing, you've got the turbine wheels, you've got this 3-element back door glass situation, you've got the rooftop tent, you've got a lot of really cool stuff going on with this one. Very interesting steering wheel, tons of storage on the inside, seats that move themselves around, very cool, very boxy shape on this one, very interesting lighting elements on it as well. Very unique vehicle in its own right, but a very, very cool overlanding off-roading rig. You can see the big all-terrain tires on it. You can see the big windows on it, so great visibility. This, just being a concept, does have rear view camera mirrors, but you can see the modular use case here on the interior. You can see that passenger seat has multiple different ways in which you can configure it. You've got the headrest and the dash. That would never meet US regulations, but in an overlanding rig, when you are parked, when you're camping somewhere, yeah, that works. And then you can see we've got that folded passenger seat there in the middle. Much like your garage, you've got modular rail systems for storing things there on the doors, on the panels, interior panels of this vehicle. You can see all the camping gear. You can have your dog bed, all the different like molly straps, places to connect things back here. Very, 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 very cool rig all the way around. I want to see more stuff like this. Like, this is what EV platforms allow us to do. They are basically a blank canvas on which you can put almost anything, and this is showing that Kia kind of gets it and they're leaning into it, which is very impressive to me, because when I interviewed my friends Jill Simonillo and Kristen Shaw from their second Rebel rally with Hyundai, they were talking about how the Korean culture didn't quite get overlanding, off-roading, but they are learning very quickly. I know that was the Hyundai side of the company. This is the Kia side, but very cool to see just how quickly this brand is catching on to customer needs, wants, and desires. And then you can see we've got all the rest of the Kia lineup back here behind all of the cool concepts up front, including the new updated Carnival. We saw this updated for at the Chicago Auto Show earlier this year. We got to spend some time with it in Detroit. I love the cream and the blue interior. They got me hook, line, and sinker there just with that alone. Tons of space on the inside. I told you I've got a minivan waiting for me back home. They're insanely practical. That's one I really want to get to spend a week with. But there you have it. We're back at the North American Car of the Year finalists, and that's a lot of show, folks. There's a lot to see here. I didn't take you and show you every single thing, but I show you all the major new vehicles here, all the things worth checking out. You can sit in, you can touch, you can feel and experience a lot of different vehicles. You can go over to Ford and do their Bronco Built Wild ride along, which actually goes indoors and outdoors this year. There are many different driving experiences outside of the show. There still is a lot to do, see, and experience at auto shows. Auto shows are not dead. Keep going to them. Keep checking them out. Tell automakers with your attendance that auto shows are worth investing in. But yes, that is it for me from the 2024 LA Auto Show. If you want to see more from me, some in-depth stuff here on the channel, absolutely follow along.
You look like an Oilers fan.
Follow along with us. Find us, hit subscribe, ring the bell, so you get all those notifications when new vehicles drop, new videos drop. Find us on all social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me, from the LA Auto Show, until next time, dear heads, bye.